Hi, welcome to our Pretend Cooking Show. Today we are going to make our family recipe of gumbo. It's chicken and sausage gumbo. It's really good. I thought with the weather soon to be cooling down, you would want to know how to make something nice and delicious. And you can put everything in the crock pot and it doesn't take long. Okay, my husband Dennis is helping me today, and he's chopping up the garlic right now. He has, we've got some fresh basil. We still have some of that in the garden, so we're going to use that. And some fresh thyme. Thing about this recipe, it's just like making stew. Everyone puts their own ingredients in it. You know, some people don't like okra. We put okra if we happen to have it. We just use leftover chicken. So it's just kind of, you just put together the types of things you want in it. But this will give you a good guideline of what can go into. I have this recipe that I've used for years. I've modified it a little bit, but we're going to use that as a baseline here. I'm going to go ahead and stick in our water. I'm going to start, and the crock pot I'm using is quite large. You can also make this in a, you know, like a, what do you call those? Stock pot. You can make it in a stock pot, but today I'm just going to make it in this crock pot. Crock pot. And it's one of these big roast size ones, but you can put this in a smaller one too. Okay, I'm going to start with 4 cups of water. And when I say start with, it's because...
You could put it in this if you wanted.
Yeah, that's
a little small, but you could use a bigger stock pot.
I don't know what's in the other one. We have one that's bigger and it's occupied, so we're going to just use this. Okay, so I'm going to start with 4 cups of water, and we're going to put everything in it. If it needs some more water, we'll put some more water in it then. So as I've talked about before, we're going to use this bouillon. It's a chicken bouillon. And for every cup of water, you use 1 teaspoon of this bouillon. So I'm just going to do that. He's cutting up vegetables and the basil. There's some more in case you need it. So I've got 4 cups of water. And I'm going to put in here 4 teaspoons chicken broth, bouillon. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and put in the okra. Grab it here. You can use the whole okra. Sometimes we've done that. But we kind of like this when it's cut into pieces. So anyways, there's 2 cups of that. We use the frozen because it's going to all heat up and warm up inside there. And then 1 bell pepper. He hasn't got to that one yet. Did you get the garlic? He's got the garlic there. We've got a large onion chopped up. I'm just going to dump that in.
Garlic is 3 or 4 pods.
Yeah. It says 3 pods on here, but ours were kind of small, so we're adding 4. And he's got those chopped. And then on the basil, it's a teaspoon of dried basil, which might be what you're going to use. We're using fresh, so we're going to put a little bit more in there because when it's dried, it would shrink up and be more concentrated. So if you're using fresh, you're going to want to add more. But it calls for 1 teaspoon of basil. And then while he's doing that, I use 1 can of these petite. It doesn't really matter. Diced tomatoes, crushed tomatoes, whatever you like to use, but 1 can of tomatoes is great. You don't want to use the whole because
you're not going to transluce anything. You just throw it in.
Throw it in. This is one of these. You just put it together. Now we're starting it. We're having it tomorrow, so we're starting it a day ahead of time because we want all those flavors to mingle and blend together, and it'll be much more tasty tomorrow. Marry. We wanted to get marry together, all the flavors. So he's got the basil in there, and he's got the garlic, onion. He's working on the bell pepper, got the tomatoes. I just don't want to forget anything. Okay, well, we had some leftover bacon. We really never put that in, but you know, bacon's good on anything. Especially on a meat dish. So we're just going to crush this fried bacon.
We had a gentleman from Louisiana tell us that's what gumbo is. It's kind of a potluck thing. You just throw in what you got, whatever meat you got left over.
Yeah, like everybody makes their stew
With
different.
leftover chicken and leftover sausage.
Yeah,
Sometimes just sausage, sometimes just chicken.
it's whatever you have. Okay, and that's kind of what we're doing with our chicken. It's not left over, but I have like a, oops, did I turn the oven on? No, I'm sorry. I don't know if it's going to turn off. There we go. I've got a chicken thigh in here. It's in the freezer. Oops, no, there's 2 thighs. I have 2 chicken thighs that I'm going to use, and they're raw. I'm just dumping them in here. And then I have a chicken breast, and I think we need to cut it into pieces.
At least into 2 or 3.
Now those chicken thighs, you know what, I'm gonna pull this skin off of here.
Yeah.
It's gonna be too fatty if you don't. There. And the chicken breast, anyways, what I was gonna say about the thighs is that the thighs have a bone in them. You're just gonna wanna, you know, it's not gonna disintegrate in here, but just know that if you're using the thighs, you know, sometimes people get lucky and get a whole piece. Or you can cut it. Use breast.
Thighs are juicier with the bone in. Anytime you do bone in, it makes it juicier. You can always pull the bone out later.
And I got these 2 big chicken breasts that I'm going to throw in there too. I'm going to let you cut these up because they're kind of juicy. Let me wash my hands.
Could put a little more bell pepper, but that's good. It's a big, large, just a large bell pepper.
Oh, you left some open.
Red would make it a little more sweet, but that's up to you.
I want you to do the chicken for me, and I'm going to pull this apart. Here on this thyme, let me get this space cleared off real quick.
This takes a lot of time to do that.
You want to use this cutting board here? I'm just going to put the thyme in here. It's fresh thyme is really easy to take apart. You get a piece of it. Let me show you. Hold on, and see, here's the stem part down here at the bottom. And so if you go against the grain, it just slides right in there. And then just chunk that. I'm gonna have more thyme here than we're gonna need. But our thyme plant is just really abundantly producing, so.
You want to do the sausage now or later?
Yeah, put the sausage in. And once again, he likes using this Ecker skinless sausage. It's the best. I don't even lie by anything else. There you go.
Skinless is what, so it doesn't have that hard skin on the outer shell.
So good.
And it's made with pork, chicken, and turkey and beef.
I don't care if it.
Pork, turkey, and beef.
If you have to pay extra, that's fine. Do it.
Yeah, it should be on sale. You can put 1 or 2. It's up to you how meaty you want to make it.
Yeah.
There's 2 to a pack.
You think you would put all of that in there?
Yes.
Okay, he's gonna put that whole package in there. So it's just kind of, I'm just putting it together. How much time did I say? 2 teaspoons.
2 teaspoons.
I'm gonna keep going.
You
Oh,
already
wait.
got your chicken stock in there?
Yes, but you know, we're gonna see if we need more. But I think we've got enough liquid.
Right.
Now I need to. When you wash your hands, if you can get me well, here, I'll get it. A bay leaf. How many? Put 3 bay leaves in here. So I buy these in bulk and just keep them in a glass container. I'm just gonna put those in. 1,
I realized it had so much seasonings in it.
2, 3. You've never actually made it with me, have you? I've been making this for probably, what, 20 years? It's really a good budget item too. Not only is it easy, but it makes meat go a lot further. And we're going to cook this on high. Well, that's more than 2 teaspoons, I think. We're going to cook this on high all day. Here it is a little afternoon, early afternoon, and we're going to start it and we're just going to let it go.
Oh, you got a
That's more.
teaspoon?
Yeah, that's a teaspoon.
Okay.
Did I say teaspoon or tablespoon?
Teaspoon.
Okay.
Yeah, I would go a little bit more.
Okay. Yeah, sometimes we go out there and harvest this stuff and sit around the table and just start pulling it off. And then letting it dry, and then you can save it for use throughout the year. Some of these bigger ones, I don't like those.
Yeah.
That's enough.
And what you do is you take all this off.
And man, it smells so good with all that fresh herbs in it. There's some more of it here.
That's what I was saying.
It's all over. Okay.
Take here. What you do is you take this. See,
Scrape the counter.
because that's all that was on there was that. It's a good one. Soft.
Okay.
Good soft ones.
So that is everything that goes in it. Now you're going to want to make some homemade rice and serve this over the rice. So you put some rice in your bowl. And then just get you a good hearty scoop of this and dump it in there. Now you might want to look at it later to see if it needs some more liquid. If it does, then you're going to want to make some more of the water bouillon mixture. 1 cup of water to 1 teaspoon of bouillon. And add it to it if it looks like it needs a little bit more liquid. Or you may want it a little bit more soupy. This is going to be pretty chunky the way we have it. Let me show you what it looks like. Excuse me, honey. Okay. Let's see how... There you go. And you see this big crock pot is chock full of all that meat. And you wouldn't have to put that much meat in it. But yeah, you can see I got a big crock pot here. We're going to cook it on high. And then this evening, before we go to bed, we can put it on low just to keep it warm. And we'll have it tomorrow with rice. Also, I have a pumpkin pie I made. And I had put it in the freezer. And then pulled it out. It's gonna be so good.
All the chicken stock in there you wanted?
Yes, I sure did. All right, well, thank you for watching, and I hope you give it a try, and have a good day.